This is a prophetic archive, Metamorphosis Part 1. Let's begin this prophetic service. The manual of life teaches us that God dwells in his children through the Holy Spirit. Every human being, though, was taught that God dwells in a temple. Every single human being was taught that God is in this place, when really God wants to live in you. Now, many of you know that living in you is very uncomfortable, right? That's why it's difficult to lead people to understand that God dwells in them. But God doesn't dwell in you because he hasn't said so, or because the word doesn't teach it. It's because you don't want to accept it. Can you write it down? That's why apostolic ministries receive religious people like you to confront you and tell you that your religious doggishness is trying to impose that God is in a temple. God is not in a temple. God is in you. And if you don't know him, it's because you're a wretch. Write it down. Many of you already know what you're going to give. Me, as an apostle, also know to a certain extent what you are going to give based on the quality that you reflect. I know who can fight a good fight and who cannot fight a good fight because of the way that life is conducted. That tells you what you really are and where you're going to end up. The way you value the little in yourself and in your surroundings, and even what you do for the kingdom, already tells me who you are. You're a wretch. You're waiting for something big to happen, and so that tomorrow you can wake up different, and that's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Because what says who you are is what you reflect and manifest. Write it down, please. What says who you are is what you reflect and what you manifest. That's why if I were to look at what you do, I wouldn't be serving you. If I were to look at what you do, I wouldn't serve you. But if I look at the Father, I serve humanity. Likewise, if I were to look at what others do, I would not serve them. I serve man because I've served the Father. And therein lies the great dilemma of the human being who understands things from a logical point of view. You are more of a humanist who thinks from the logical context by nature. Logic is driven by what is seen. What is seen is what leads me to have a reaction. If I don't see that you have something good towards me, I won't have anything good towards you, because by logic, this is how a man's social behavior is governed. I'm not going to be with you. You don't treat me well. Hey, why didn't you greet me, sister? You didn't greet me either. And why didn't you do this? Because you didn't do it either. Logical reaction. Because you didn't do it, I don't do it. How many of you think like this? Raise your hand high. Thank you. Thank you. That is logic. That is logic. And even those that did not raise the hand, you do it too, because that is really our natural reaction. Our natural reactions is to do things based on what we see. In parentheses, logic. So human logic is synonymous with religion because Christ came to teach you what is unseen. Human logic, though, is based on what is seen. Hello? Today's topic is metamorphosis. This is going to be the series. What does metamorphosis mean? We will go right into it after we read on 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1 in full. Let's see. Therefore, since through God's mercy we have the ministry, we do not lose heart. Rather, we have renounced secret and shameful ways. We do not use deception, nor do we distort the word of God. On the contrary, by setting forth the truth plainly, we commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God. And even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For what we preach is not ourselves, but Jesus Christ as Lord, and ourselves as your servants for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, "Let shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. Where is this treasure that it mentions here? Who is the clay? Who is the earthly vessel and what is inside of it? That vessel, a treasure. It says, so that the excellence of the power may be of whom? Of God. Hello? Where is the power of the glory of God going to be manifested? In God? Wow. Only one person raised a hand. The others are thinking about it. Where is the glory of God going to be manifested? Where is that power going to be manifested? It's not in a room. Where were you looking for that manifested power of the glory of God? Why did you come here today? To see the power manifested. Foolishness. Because the power of the glory of God is not manifested here. It's manifested in you as a vessel. That's why the foolishness of wanting to come here, of wanting to go to a temple to see the glory of God manifested, it's because your irresponsibility is what doesn't allow that glory to be manifested. If you have a religious mentality of a trickster of coming here to have that glory manifested, that's why you don't see it. The word says we have this treasure in jars of clay so that the excellence of the power may be from God. Whose excellence is it? Whose power? Listen carefully. You can tell me that that clay vessel is not even good enough to be thrown to the dogs, and I would believe you. But here in the word, it says that in that which is not good enough to even throw it to the dogs, there the glory and the power will be manifested with excellence. How will it be manifested? So you're saying that we have this treasure in that which is useless, which will turn it into being useful? That is useless, but the glory of God will be manifested there? Where? Yes. Glory and excellence will be manifested and will be executed with excellence. In that which is useless, yes. In that which is useless. It says, but we have this treasure in a clay vessel, so that the excellence of the power may be of God and not ours. That which is useless will manifest power and glory and excellence. But at the end, we won't take the glory. The glory belongs to God. It is important to understand that what will be manifested in you comes from God. And you know what? Everyone will know that because no one expected anything good from you. That's why when people see a nobody like Robert, they say to me, well, if you get something good out of that guy, I'll pay you. And you know what? I tell them, pay me because you're going to lose it. Because at the end, the more I dig up dirt, understand, the greater his glory will be. Because for many of us, it is in our weaknesses that God has manifested his strength. Hello? How many of you are understanding it? How many of you are getting it? Or how many still need to get it? Let's continue reading. We are afflicted in every way, but not distressed. In trouble, but not forsaken. Persecuted, struck down, but not destroyed. Always carrying in our body the death of Jesus. Oh, so that's what happens to all of us, Pastor? Yes. How many of you usually live through tribulations in every way? Battles. Terrible battles, as you evangelicals say. How many? How many of you have battles? Everyone. You have tribulations as well, but you're not distressed. I don't see you've lost focus. You're not running away around like a madman making mistakes, having immaturities all over you. Do you understand me? How many of you haven't had difficulties? Temptation is a difficulty. Demands and commitments are difficulties. But you're not desperate, because what is the manifestation of failure? Why does failure come? When you get desperate, it comes because of desperation. He who despairs fails. Do you have needs? Me too. But just because I have needs, am I going to despair? How many of you understand me? Do you have a need? I have a need too. Oh, help me. No, help me too. Help us. How are we going to do it between the two of us? Let's go. Because it's normal that as human beings we have needs. It is normal. That will never go away from us. Now, we in trouble, but not desperate. Persecuted. How many of you are persecuted? How many? You're being persecuted for speaking the truth. You can be persecuted by being accused. You might have assumptions, but you're not helpless. Why? Because we are not alone. You can have any kind of battle and persecution you want. It might be that your family doesn't want you around, or that you don't get along with people. But you know what? Stay calm. Relax, because you're not helpless. Hello? Hey, you are not helpless. But Pastor, it's just that my mom and my husband and now my son, Listen, you are not helpless. No matter how much you feel that persecution, no matter how much you feel like things don't add up or that you don't fit in, you're not helpless. Because, let's continue reading. We always carry in our bodies the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our bodies. Metamorphosis. Again, because we who live are always being delivered to death for Jesus' sake, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our mortal flesh. Listen to me. We are bearing the death of Christ, manifesting under a righteousness in order to also bear the life of Christ. Let us continue. So death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. The Apostle Paul said, death is manifested in me because I am bringing you this message and you are receiving life. Because at the moment I receive death for what I give you, you receive life for what you hear. But your time will come to also receive death for what you have heard, to give life to others. Oi, did you hear that? You better not listen to this and get out of here and don't bother anyone, because if what you hear gives you life now, later that demand will bring you death so that others may receive life. That's kind of strong, right? You are being told this. You, given that you don't want to fight for anyone and you don't want to be bothered, then get out. Then do not connect. Why are you bothered to hear this? Are you understanding me? Metamorphosis. Let's continue reading. It is written, I believed, therefore I spoke, since we have that same spirit of faith. Hello? It says here, I believed, therefore I spoke. Many of you are talking so much nonsense that you don't even know what you're saying. You just say stuff just to say something. But you know what? Each one will pay for what has been said. Each person will pay for what you know and for what you have said. No one will escape that what they have said will come with a consequence. Why? Because every word that has come out of your mouth that you have not assumed, you will pay for it. That is why those who spoke a lot here are screwed, because they are going to be sued for everything they said. Hello? Verse 15 says, knowing that he who raised the Lord Jesus will also raise us with Jesus and will present us with you, because we suffer all these things for your sake, so that grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God. Paul said, this is why I'm suffering, so that grace may abound to you. Now, it was not in vain, because he is also going to be presented to him with you and will be raised with everyone else. Verse 16 says, therefore, we do not lose heart, but even though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. What is wasting away? What is wasting away? Nature, our outer self. And what is being renewed daily? Our inner self. What is that called? Metamorphosis. Do you know what your great struggle and your greatest battle is? That you haven't been able to channel your metamorphosis. Many people tend to say, well, Pastor, I really want to assume, but every time I want to assume, things are going worse for me. No, my love, things are going better for you. Because when you want to accept the kingdom, let me tell you, every hidden thing and every lie and shame in your life will be revealed. Hello, hello, hello. Many wanted things to appear without knowing how it happened. How many wanted it that way? Learn this. The only way you'll free yourself is by removing the lies from within you. Write it down. Your whole life has been a lie. Many of you have wanted to leave some things and wanted to attach yourself to some, supposedly because they're still clean. They're still good. But Pastor, this is clean. This is not bad. This I cannot throw away because this is clean. Look, let me tell you, throw away that filth with your cleanness. Gee, get it out of here. I'm here to take out your garbage, all of that garbage that you brought. Verse 16 says, therefore, we do not lose heart, but even though this outer man is wasting away. How many of you with your outer man complain and cry and say, oh, Lord, I have this pain and I have that? Because that outer man is wasting away. But you are going through a process for you to learn to be a consolidated spiritual being. Because many of us behave all the time under that human logic. Because our nature is inclined to react to what it sees. Hey, brother, how's everything? Well, Pastor, things are rough, everything is difficult. Okay, but because it's difficult doesn't mean that you're alone. Hey, sister, how's everything? God bless you. Well, Pastor, I'm not putting up with this. Oh, but what is it that you want? What people are looking for is a human stability in order for them to believe in God. People look for human stability to believe in God. So much so that many love to hear the great things and miracles that God is doing here. And they will buy pieces of cloth and say, here, take this piece, sister, and stop suffering. As if putting a stop on suffering is what remedies your life. And it's not like that. On the contrary. On verse 17, it says, for our light and momentary tribulation. Light and momentary tribulation. What is tribulation like? In your case, it looks like this. Every time you enter tribulation, you always want to blame it on someone else. You always want to attribute it to someone else as if it is an eternal thing. As soon as you have tribulation, what do? What do? The word says, because this light and momentary tribulation produces in us an eternal glory. Listen to what this light momentary tribulation produces. What a crazy thing. It produces in us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. To whom does this light affliction produce a greater glory every time it happens? To you. Every time you face troubles, there's a greater eternal weight of glory that is produced in you. Now, are you a bastard or are you a child? If it's not producing that for you, then you're a bastard. Then you've connected to the wrong place, because many don't want a light affliction. You know why you don't want a light affliction? You know why you're afraid of tribulation in your life? Because you're afraid that people will know who you truly are. You don't want any kind of tribulation because you don't want them to know how miserable you are and what you're willing to do if you have to endure tribulation for a long time. How many understand me? That's why you want out quickly. You say, please get me out quickly so I don't do something crazy. Really? What is it that you're going to do? You wicked? What are you going to do? Oh, Pastor, please, let this tribulation go away quickly, because you know I'm crazy. I'll just do some crazy thing. You don't know me, Pastor. You don't know what I dare to do. Do whatever you want. That's why here in this ministry, we poke you so that all those lies come out, you wicked. Your lie is going to come out. We don't look at the things that are seen. You know what the problem is with tribulation? That you started looking at what is seen. Why are you like this? Because you're looking at what? What are you looking at? What is seen? Why are you like this? Why? Because what you are seeing is making you desperate. How many of you are like this? You are seeing what you shouldn't see, and you're getting desperate. You're getting anxious. Do you understand? The children don't look at what is seen. So what are you looking at? What are you looking at? That is your problem. If you're not looking at what is not seen, what are you seeing? What is manipulating you? What are you seeing? You know why I get mad at all of you? Do you know what has me fed up when you come to talk to me? When you come to talk to me about what is seen. Because seeing what is seen is the only thing you know. When really what is being taught to you is so that you come and tell me about what is not seen. Tell me what is not seen so I can tell you what's up, what's happening. But you don't know what is not seen because you're paying attention to what is seen. Do you understand? How many of you are feeling war as I am ministering this? Not looking at the things that are seen, but at what is unseen. That's what the Holy Spirit wants from you. You are connected to an apostolic ministry to flow in the prophetic. No one sees the prophetic except the children, the mysteries. The prophetic are the mysteries of God for the children. Write it down. The prophetic are the mysteries of God the Father for the children who are called to what is unseen. That's why you haven't understood that the greatest battle of your life is not your job, your profession, is not your family. The problem is you. I don't care about others, but I care about everybody here. You have a lot of battle and a lot of struggle and a lot of war and a lot of everything. And oh my God, Pastor, what is this? It's nothing. It's simply that what is seen is manifested against you because you're willing to know what is unseen, plain and simple. Do you think that was established in you generationally, personally, and environmentally is going to just let you go just like that? Oh, yes, sure. Go in peace. Hello? No. Do you think the devil is just going to release you just because? Oh, yes, sure. Go in peace. You know how well you handle the devil? And what a great messenger of Satan you've been to carry out his plan so well, huh? You've been a servant of Satan and he greatly appreciates you. And do you think he's just going to release you like that? Especially when he knows that what you see still controls you, you silly? If there's something Satan seeks after, it is to manipulate you through what you see. That's why he still makes you eat from his hand, because he knows that when you see yourself without a penny, it drives you crazy. Oh, who did God just speak just now? I feel like God spoke to someone right now. As a matter of fact, I feel like he spoke to everybody. As soon as you see yourself without what you want, you take on a rage, don't you? Is that you or not? If things are not done the way you want, what do? You snap. You say, I'm fed up with this damn thing. Isn't that what you said the other day? You are very bold. You are very fresh. Don't you come out here trying to mimic the apostolic. Yes, because there are people who want to imitate me, talking harsh or loud. Don't do that, man. Be your own. Have your own defined personality. Because the problem with you is that you don't even have that. Because many are still influenced by many distorted personalities, which they absorbed and still behave in the distorted way. Be yourself. You know something? What you're most ashamed of is being yourself. And you want to know? The most beautiful thing you have is you, just as you are. Tell me how you are. Well, Pastor, I speak very slowly. Oh, nice. Do it that way, sister. No, I want to speak fast because that's what's trending, No, be yourself. Don't underestimate what you are. Sell what you have, just that you are. How do you speak, brother? You speak with a high-pitched voice? It doesn't matter. That's how you speak. Well, Pastor, I want to speak correctly, like everyone. No, talk like you do. Who knows if that's where your market is? Don't you realize that people who achieve a certain level of success, of course, most of what is manipulated, but it's because they expose who they were. And everyone are like, wow, good, look. Many go and watch and pay those type of people because that guy is doing things that you yourself would never dare to do. How many have seen that? That's why here you're going to connect and learn to give what little you have. And you're going to learn how to lose the focus on that doesn't really correspond to you. So you can drop that. Let everyone go around and say, please. Let everything just be as it has to be. All of this that we're talking about has a context, and that context is called metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a change or transformation of form. It's an external aspect, an appearance. Much of what metamorphosis is a definition that, I can expand on, but I want to cut through the chase. There are many technical parts and definitions from the Greek language on it, but sometimes I have to avoid many things like that because I want to focus on the context of how man is supposed to manage his life. I don't want to be filling your intellect. In reality, our intellect was so filled that I don't have time to exercise it. You exercise it as you can with the university and your personal teachings and your research. My duty as an apostle and my style are very connected to the direct, to what really connects, to what will lead you to develop in your life. What do you think the truth of God is making you experience? You are experiencing metamorphosis, changes. You have a big problem. The religious context that you were taught was completely human. It was very logical because although it seemed like it was spiritual, talking about the devil and all of that, everything remained very emotional. And if it remained emotional, it is totally natural. Oh, so Pastor, that's not spiritual? No. The spiritual has a context and has a foundation. Go ahead, write it down. The spiritual has a context and a foundation, which is why your results today, even though you're connected here, aren't good. Because you still appeal to those teachings you drag and you brought with you. And that's why you're eating today, based on what we know, we're not fighting or going crazy because we haven't achieved everything we want. No. What I need to learn today is to depend more and more every day. And here, you are thinking you connected, just forgot to take care of your mess. No. We are all being forced to depend. Write it down. We are all being forced to depend. Up until dependence doesn't become your life and your lifestyle, you still don't know God. You're a trickster. You're a manipulator. You're a liar. My focus should not be the unfinished things that I have in life. No. We have to be thankful that there is a supreme being on whom we depend. What's important here today is, what do I really have to focus on? What do I really have to focus on today? It's not what I don't have or what I need. Oh, but I don't have this yet, Pastor. Listen, if I were to calculate everything I need, I wouldn't have time to depend on God. Write it down. If I focus on everything I need, I wouldn't have time to depend on God. That's why today, as an apostle of this ministry, I'm calling your attention. Stop focusing on what you don't have and focus on depending. When you're finished killing that anxiety and that worry in you, you'll begin to enjoy the metamorphosis, the changes that you're having integrally within you. When you came to this ministry, you began to be formed, right? Let me ask you something. Do you speak the same way you spoke? No. Do you think the same way you thought? No. Do you feel the same way you felt? No. Do you see life the same way you saw it? No. So, what happened? Everything suddenly changed for you. All those things you said no, 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 and how everything changed, you can say, oh, wow, there was a change. There was a change, so there was a metamorphosis. Before, you did what you wanted. Today, can you do whatever you want? No. Oh, and what happened there? Before, you did what you wanted, and today, do you do it the way you want? No. What happened there? Change. For that metamorphosis to happen, was it a magic wand that made it happen? Did you feel struggle and battle within it? A lot of struggle and battle. Many of us would love for people to see the misfortune that we have lived through internally, the struggles, the monsters we have to face. How many of you wouldn't want others to realize everything you've been through? How many? I would have loved for the whole world to see everything I've been through in this life so that they can see. As a matter of fact, I would have loved for my wife to see, for God's sakes. How can God show it to her, please? But my wife doesn't even look. You can call her insensitive like you would call your husband insensitive. Don't you see all the struggle that I'm going through, honey? But I'll tell you one thing. Everyone is fighting. Tell the person next to you, listen, everyone is fighting, so stop your show. Just stop it. Everyone is fighting, and everyone is fighting a lot. Well, Pastor, not like me because, I this and I that and I that because me. Listen, every human being is struggling and fighting because at the end of the day, the fight is not about what is seen, although that is what many focus on. The great battle is in what is not seen. We want many people to do things. Let me tell you, everything that I do and manage and what I put you to do and how I manage each member of the ministry, I analyze who I am with. I see from the manifestations who you are. And I see where your blockage is, how much you give, how much you don't, and I check each person. To me, it is as if I was in a pet's lab where I'm checking, oh, look, I see the little leg for this and the little tail did this. And it's like putting mice to run to see what they produce, what they give. And I go, oh, look at what they're giving. It's like an analysis of the laboratory to see what is it that is getting you disconnected? What is it that is stealing from you? What is it that is not allowing you to see what by nature has to do with the spiritual? Hey, I just told you a little apostolic secret. I am checking. I'm experimenting. Why? Because I know that if you're not producing what you are, there's an internal battle and we need to know what it is. Tell the one next to you, do you know what your problem is? That you don't want to investigate what it is and you don't want to know what it is, but rather, you know what you want to do? You want to blame someone. No, because mommy this, no, because mommy that. What else? Who else can I blame? Oh, I can't find anybody, so mommy this and mommy that. Oh, my husband too. You have to find one, right? Everyone has their own little animal, husband to blame. Everyone wants to blame someone. But at the end of the day, I want you to understand that everyone has an internal battle. There is a metamorphosis that occurs when you want to connect with what is right. Everything that manifests is everything wrong. The exact opposite. Write it down. When I want to connect with what is right, the exact opposite manifests. Evangelicals have a saying that goes, I don't like to get into God because, everything comes against me. Wow, really? When what you are confronting manifests, it means that what you are doing is having results. Again, when what you confront manifests, it is because you're having results. When what I confront manifests, it's because I am exercising pressure. Many of you, when what you were confronting manifested, you ran away because you didn't know. That manifested on one side and you manifested on the other, and both of you ran away. Because what manifested means that it's going to be casted out. It's going to be out. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. 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 It's out. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. It's out. You know that those are one of the things that you have to understand. That's why when we spoke and we started this, we made an introduction with the text that says the light tribulation, because you have to conquer what Christ already achieved on the cross of Calvary. Many taught us that since Christ died on the cross of Calvary, everything was not going to be a problem anymore. Oh, go ahead, brother. Move forward. God is with you. Everything is resolved. Yes, it is true that it is resolved, but I have a responsibility to confront things. I have to know. He already won, yes, and it's true. But the fact that he won didn't mean don't do anything, but quite the opposite. Because he won is why you have to do. Because if your attitude is he won, then go ahead. Don't be afraid. Well, Pastor, look, the devil rose up. The devil does not rise. It is you who rises up. Write it down. The devil doesn't rise. Is he going to rise where he has always been the owner? Oh, too strong? But really, is the devil going to rise where he is the owner? Is the devil going to rise where he has always had you enslaved? Who the devil is going to rise up? Rise up for where he has always slept there with you? The one who raises him is you. He is going to be casted out by you. That's why what manifests is not an opposition. No, not for you. It is not an opposition. For you, it's the sign that what you're doing is having an effect. It's the sign that what I'm doing is having an effect. When a person tells me, wow, look at everything that happened, I said, what? What? Don't think that way. Because you know what? I'm the one who produces that. I am the one who produces that change. Don't you know that religion was made so that you would spend your whole life covering up and hiding everything so that no one would know your misfortune, your disgrace? How many did that? Religion trained us to cover up all of our misfortunes and hide them from everyone, which is why you said, in struggle and battle, but in victory. How many of you have never come out of saying, in struggle and battle, but the victory is the Lord's? That struggle and battle, people wouldn't want to know about. It had more to do with what you wanted to hide than with what the devil really wanted to do to you. Do you remember in the religious circle there was a great saying that said, "He who has no struggle, let him examine himself"? I'm going to tell you something. This isn't that I have a battle. This is that I wage the battle. Write it down. That's why your behavior says, "Oh, Pastor, I have a struggle, a very strong battle, I'm struggling and battling, and it's very strong." No, that's a lie. We have no struggle and no battle. That's a lie from you and the devil. The one who is doing the struggle and the battle is me. It is me who wants to confront and push back, belittling darkness. It is me who's here. That's why when we say under a biblical context that you are a wretch, deep down in you, you say, you know what? It's true. And even more than that, even the devil and everyone say, yes, she is. The devil lived off all of our lies and our hypocrisy. And it's time to stop feeding him and say, it's not like that. You are a liar, devil. That's why you have to understand that your metamorphosis, your change that you're experiencing is what you are producing. You are giving birth. And what you're giving birth to is the manifestation of God, the spiritual being in you, breaking that carnality that came with you, that nature that denies itself, If you deny yourself, then what is of God will be manifested.